Now at 9, Pittsburgh votes tonight to renew its contract for police flock cameras despite a neighboring department's recent misuse scandal. Plus, Miami residents decide a $15.7 million school bond after it failed by just 2 votes last fall.
The FBI now releasing new surveillance photos showing an armed suspect on the front porch of Nancy Guthrie's home that was reportedly taken right before she went missing. I'm Caroline Elliott in Tucson, Arizona, and I'll have the latest details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Pittsburgh police will continue using what some consider controversial license plate recognition cameras as the city commission tonight votes to renew the city's flock safety contract. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. The decision comes just weeks after the city of Joplin fired an officer for misusing the same technology. Pittsburgh PD says it uses the cameras to capture only license plates and vehicle information, not faces or personal data. The department says it also conducts regular audits to prevent misuse. Police defend the technology, pointing to significant results since installation: more than $600,000 in recovered stolen property, 32 recovered vehicles, 8 seized firearms, and 60 arrests.
The Pittsburgh Police Department has policies and procedures in place when officers and investigators are allowed to use the flock safety software. So we're guided by our policies and procedures. We also do internal auditing to ensure that they're being used appropriately.
The 2-year renewal consolidates Pittsburgh's 2 existing flock contracts into a single agreement covering all 32 cameras. Now, tonight's decision simplifies billing but does not increase costs. The annual price remains at $103,500, the same as the city currently pays for both separate contracts combined. This fee is paid through the public safety sales tax. Pittsburgh City Commissioners delay a decision to purchase new budget software, saying they want to see more options before spending nearly $50,000 in taxpayer money. During the City Commission's January 27th meeting, City Manager Darren Hall blamed using Excel spreadsheets to create a conflicting budget and a costly tax error last year. To correct the mistake, commissioners voted to lower the mill rate for property owners. The proposed ClearGov cloud-based software would replace the manual spreadsheet system the city has used for years, but it isn't cheap, costing a little over $34,000 a year and a $15,000 setup fee. A Miami school bond issue succeeds on its second try as voters approve a $15.7 million measure that narrowly failed last fall. Voters passed the measure today with 66% in favor, clearing the required supermajority needed for approval. The bond funds critical safety and facility upgrades with no projected tax increase. The proposal keeps the mill rate at 29 cents per $100 of assessed value while paying for new exterior walls and secure doors at Nichols Elementary and a new playground at the Will Rogers facility. District leaders called this election a second chance to address essential safety needs that couldn't be put off any longer. Meteorologist Donald O'Keefe joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, today turned out to be a pretty nice day, but we are going to start cooling down a bit as we get into the overnight. Current conditions right now, 49 degrees, clear skies, winds out of the north about 14 miles an hour, and that's bringing in some of that cold air, that wind from the north. However, we got up to 69 degrees today. The average is 49 for this time of year, so we're about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Like I said, we are going to cool down. We're going to get out to a low of 35 degrees. We are going to have some increasing clouds through the night, but then decreasing by tomorrow morning. And it also is going to be a bit breezy. We can see those winds out of the north, 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 25 for tonight. Let me take you through tonight into tomorrow morning. So here's some of those clouds, those wind from the north, going to be cooling things down for us by tomorrow morning. There's the temperatures right around the low to mid 30s, but we're going to rebound by Wednesday afternoon when we get that sun starting to come back out. Now temperatures are going to be back up to the upper 50s. But we're looking at rain chances this weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Donald. A Shasta Power representative was expected to address Crawford County commissioners this morning, but did not show up. The company set today as a deadline to have survey results complete, hoping to also get commissioners to lift a moratorium on solar development. KOAM's Kenny Foreman reports.
This morning, the Crawford County Commission met expecting survey results from Shasta Power. They were then told that Shasta's John Kopiak would not be in attendance.
I talked to him yesterday, and the survey's not fully complete now. There's a couple people that request a little bit more time, So I'm here to report to you that he'll be here. Hopefully it'll be finished real quick and he can be here and give you the numbers.
The survey Shasta is doing is in hopes to get enough support that it can convince commissioners to lift the moratorium on solar development. Kopiak later provided KOAM with a statement regarding the delay in the survey results from those neighboring the property. Currently, 19 homeowners are in support of the project with a desire for compensation, with 8 opposed. He cited the 10 undecided homeowners as the main holdup and wants to give them more time. District 2 Commissioner Tom Moody doesn't know exactly what's next, but still plans to see the survey data.
I feel that they will come back. I don't doubt that one bit. Whether they will have that, the surveys and numbers, that remains to be seen, but I'm sure there's more questions that need to be answered.
In Crawford County, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Kopiak has not given an exact timetable to have the full survey results complete. Firefighters continue to monitor a large chicken barn fire near Fairview, Missouri. The fire broke out just before 10 a.m. at a chicken barn near Zebra Drive and Mulberry Road in Newton County. Multiple area departments responded to the scene. Authorities say the houses were occupied with about 13,000 chickens. While no firefighter injuries were reported, the fire did destroy some nearby vehicles. And authorities asked for assistance concerning another fire in Newton County this morning. Crews responded to the 600 block of East Glendale Road just before 8 a.m. The house has been unlivable since a previous fire. The Newton County Sheriff's Office is asking the public for any information regarding suspicious activities. Coming up, allergies or cold.
Is that sniffle a symptom of seasonal allergies or an oncoming cold? I'm Chandler Painter with a look at how to spot the differences and stay healthy this winter. Coming up.
And later, Cupid's got competition. Nearly half of Gen Z says Valentine's Day is outdated and they're redefining how we celebrate love. A sniffle could signal a brewing health issue, but winter makes it tough to figure out what's wrong, as doctors say seasonal allergies and common colds share similar symptoms. Fox News correspondent Chandler Painter shows how to spot the differences.
While allergy symptoms are typically associated with the spring, more time spent indoors during the winter can increase our exposure to dust mites, pet dander, and other irritants, which can lead to itchy eyes, sneezing, and more. But with cases of the common cold also increasing this season, doctors like Victoria Nguyen of The Ohio State University say it can get tricky to figure out what's plaguing you. And while there's some similar symptoms, Dr. Nguyen points to key differences between allergies and colds.
Common cold is typically associated with a fever, whereas allergies are not. Allergies are also typically associated with nasal itching or eye itching as well, whereas common colds are not.
Strategies to help treat seasonal allergies can include
Avoidance measures, where we would want to know what you're allergic to help prevent exposures. Medications would be the next step, so intranasal steroids or antihistamines can be helpful, as well as oral antihistamines.
The third option is usually immunotherapy,
which for some people is kind of the more long-term curative treatment by desensitizing your body to what you're allergic to.
When it comes to methods for getting over a cold,
something like cough drops or topical analgesics for sore throats, but hydration and rest is really the most important thing for common colds.
And while there's no cure for the common cold, if symptoms don't go away within a week to 10 days, experts recommend contacting your doctor. I'm Chandler Painter, Fox News.
Donald is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, a couple watches their home of 28 years get demolished after the government finds decades-old radioactive waste underneath.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
It was another excellent day out there, but we are going to see temperatures start to drop as we get into the overnight. Taking a look at our Skywatch storm tracker behind my head up there at the Great Lakes, we have a low pressure system, and it has a cold front pretty much draped all the way across down to Texas. And that's bringing in some colder Arctic air to our area, but not really as cold as it was a couple weeks ago. Right now, all across the region, you can see temperatures about the low 40s to the still hovering around 50. You can see that cold air starting to make its way into the area through the overnight. But for today, though, before that cold front came in, we got up to a high of 69 degrees. The average is 49 degrees for this time of year, so we're 20 degrees above average. Current conditions out there right now, temperatures about 49 degrees. It feels like 44. That's because that cold front's moving in. Winds out of north about 14 miles an hour. And we're going to be a little bit gusty this evening as well. This is actually meant for earlier. You can see that temperatures will gradually cool down. By midnight, we'll get down to 44 degrees and some increasing clouds as well. For tonight, we're going to see it drop down to 35 degrees. Clouds decreasing as we get into tomorrow morning, but it's going to be a bit breezy. Winds out of north about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and they could gust up to 25 miles an hour. Let me take you through the next couple of days. So here's tonight. As we get into tomorrow morning, those clouds are going to start decreasing, but now we're getting that northern air bringing in some colder winds, and now temperatures are going to be about the low to mid 30s by Wednesday morning. But we're going to see mostly sunny skies by Wednesday afternoon. Now temperatures are going to rebound to the upper 50s and even pushing 60s down there in the southern counties. Getting into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we're going to see temperatures back up into the upper 30s and lower 40s, and then we're going to stay mostly cloudy, but temperatures are going to get back up to the low 60s by Thursday afternoon. If you're planning your day tomorrow, we're going to see mostly sunny skies, a bit cooler, high of 57 degrees for our Wednesday. Wednesday night dropping down to 40 degrees, a bit cooler and partly cloudy skies, and winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Take a look outside at the Indigo Sky Casino Resort Camp. Not too bad of a night. Like I said, temperatures are gradually cooling down, but if you want to do a late night walk, definitely get out there and do it. We are in desperate need of some rain right now. Our drought tracker has moderate conditions, even severe and extreme, just south of I-44. So we are in need of some rain, and there is hope in sight. This is our upper flow. This is what's going to happen over the weekend. This is Thursday. We're watching a system out to the west that's going to slowly make its way into our area, but we're going to be pretty dry as we get into Friday. Maybe see a few things of sprinkles by Friday, but we're really going to watch for Saturday as that system really starts to push in. There's that rain chances, and we might even see or hear a couple rumbles of thunder with that. Let's take a closer look. Thursday, temperatures in the low 60s. As we get into Thursday night, Friday, there's that rain, but it should stay south of us. Friday, we're going to stay temperatures about the mid 60s, but as we get into Friday night, Saturday morning, we're going to see that rain, heavier rain, start to push in, which is really well needed. Like I said, rumbles of thunder as well, with temperatures being about the mid 50s. Taking a look at the 7 to 10 day here, 57 degrees for tomorrow, 61 through Friday. Rain showers and possibly some thunderstorms could be on Saturday, and we rebound back to the upper 60s and 70s by next week.
What I'm not noticing is all of the lows are above freezing.
Oh yeah, it's going to be pretty nice, way above average.
A mild February.
Oh yeah.
All right, thanks, Donald. Well, St. Louis area couple watches their home of 28 years get demolished, not by choice, but by necessity. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says radioactive contamination from the Manhattan Project runs too deep under their house to safely remove. Russell Kinsall shows us the emotional toll of this environmental cleanup.
A husband and wife watched as the house where they lived for 28 years was turned into a pile of rubble. The husband asked that we not reveal his identity.
28 years of my kids' memories, Christmases. It's hard.
Decades ago, radioactive waste from the Manhattan Project leaked into Coldwater Creek. These houses, slated for demolition, were built on top of a past curve in the creek. Since 1997, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been digging up and removing contaminated soil.
This is one of the first times we've actually had to remove residential structures to complete the remediation.
The Corps of Engineers says soil sampling found contamination in the yards of 6 houses. The contamination was down 2.5 to 17 feet. The Corps says it didn't pose a risk to the residents, but the level of radiation was above a threshold that requires it to be removed.
We could not safely remediate and remove all the contamination we needed to without the homes being out of the way.
The homes were bought out and residents were forced to move.
It's heart-wrenching because I feel their pain. You know, we're a close-knit neighborhood, and I feel their pain.
The owners of the home are frustrated. They weren't told their house had to be bought out till after spending $70,000 recently to renovate their house after hail and tornado damage.
I don't believe they were very transparent as to what and how they were handling it.
The Army Corps took soil samples up and down the street and found contamination in other yards, but engineers say the levels were not high enough to require removal.
Well, coming up next is Valentine's Day dying. Gen Z says the holiday feels outdated and they're creating new ways to celebrate. Cupid may have a problem this year as nearly half of Gen Z says Valentine's Day is outdated. Fox's Anna Yiolopoulos has more on how they're changing the way we celebrate not only the holiday, but all milestones.
Wedding registries are nothing new to most of us. But what about breakup registries? A new survey commissioned by e-commerce site Etsy reveals 40% of Gen Z say a post-breakup registry would be more useful than a wedding registry.
Valentine's Day today, it's really evolving, especially among Gen Z. And it's really not about just thinking about registries. This is simply a new way for people to celebrate a different type of milestone.
Etsy's trend expert Dana Isom Johnson says it's not about younger Americans breaking up with Valentine's Day, instead redefining it.
We found that 46% of Gen Z say that Valentine's Day feels outdated. They want it to be more inclusive. They want to celebrate all of the types of love that can be celebrated for Valentine's Day.
The data shows the majority of Gen Zers say breakups feel more freeing than upsetting, with 56% of respondents believing reinvention is the best part of being newly single. To help with that transition, Etsy also recently launching its first ever breakup shop.
They claim that non-traditional milestone moments like breakups need to be celebrated. So they're feeling more empowered to celebrate their independence, their creativity. And this is just one example of that.
And for those concerned about what that means for those who want to celebrate in a traditional way,
traditional Valentine's Day isn't going anywhere. I think the message is really about being more inclusive. So it's about celebrating love at every single angle. If you have that romantic relationship that you want to celebrate, fantastic. But at Etsy, we want to make sure that we are being inclusive of all the loves of your life.
In New York, Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Well, PetSmart is spreading the love to four-legged Valentines. Pet parents and their furry friends can stop into stores from noon to 2 p.m. for free treats, photos, and paw prints cards for a positively perfect Valentine's Day. Pet lovers who stop by can also receive an in-store $5 coupon. Well, coming up next, a local women's group helps single parents stay in college with a $5,000 donation. Single parents pursuing college degrees in Joplin receive a financial boost thanks to a local women's group donation. 100 Women Who Care donated over $5,000 to the Aspire program, which helps single parents overcome barriers that could force them to drop out of school. The program provides assistance with car repairs, childcare, and other obstacles that often derail educational goals. Organizers say the support makes a crucial difference for families working to build better futures.
You know, Aspire helps those single parents that are really working hard to get that college education, to improve their family environment, to make a vocation, not just a job.
Aspire says the donation will go to help 5 students. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
A new bridge between the U.S. and Canada is scheduled to open soon, but now President Trump says that won't happen unless Canada pays up. I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. I've got the details coming up.
And the FBI reveals the first surveillance photos in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance case.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. President Trump says America now has the greatest economy in history, and he says tariffs are responsible. Now he's doubling down with a threat to shut down a multi-billion-dollar bridge between the U.S. and Canada before it even opens. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has more from the D.C. Bureau.
As the tariff war heats up, President Donald Trump is talking tough on Canada. The president's pushing the Canadian government ahead of trade talks by threatening to block the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge, which connects Detroit to Windsor, Ontario. He wrote on social media, quote, "I will not allow this bridge to open until the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them," and referenced an impending trade deal between Canada and China, which he opposes. But on Tuesday, the White House reframed the president's threat, saying it's all about leveling the playing field.
The United States needs to make sure that it has its fair share of any proceeds from that bridge and the economic activity that it generates.
President Trump says both sides will enter negotiations immediately, but it will be difficult to separate the bridge issue from the broader renegotiation of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal expected later this year. The president says the tariffs have put the U.S. in a good position ahead of the talks.
I think we have the greatest economy actually ever in history. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. That's said by everybody.
But Democrats say that's not true, pointing out America's traditional partners are now signing new deals to pivot away from trade with the U.S.
They've pushed back hard on the tariffs that are being imposed on their products that are exported into our market.
House Democrats are trying to force a vote on repealing the Canada tariffs. Republicans say they'll block it. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
A group of nearly 24 Buddhist monks arrived in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday for the culmination of their 2,300-mile Walk for Peace. Crowds welcomed the monks after their spiritual journey that spanned 9 states. In D.C., they visited the Washington National Cathedral and what was billed as a sacred stop for the Stoic monks. They endured harsh weather during parts of their 108-day journey that began in Texas in late October.
We are not walking from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. to bring you any peace, but to raise the awareness of peace so that you can unlock that box and free it. Let peace bloom and flourish.
Often walking barefoot, the monks also set out to urge Congress to recognize Buddha's birth and enlightenment as a federal U.S. holiday. Well, a major break in the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. The Pima County Sheriff's Department, with assistance from the FBI, has detained an individual for questioning in connection with Nancy's abduction. Now, earlier today, the FBI released new images of a possible suspect in the case, reportedly taken on the morning Nancy went missing. Fox News' Caroline Elliott reports.
The FBI now releasing surveillance photos for the first time 10 days into the search, where we can clearly see someone standing on the front porch of Nancy Guthrie's home. In that photo, you can make out someone that looks like they're standing underneath an arch. And in those photos, you can make out someone wearing a mask, wearing gloves, and it appears that they're even trying to tamper with that recording device that was on Nancy's front porch.
This is very powerful evidence, not only in furthering the investigation, but potentially at a trial.
The FBI will be analyzing this surveillance video closely, hoping to find any clues that could help solve this case. The White House also now reacting to these photos in a Tuesday White House briefing, saying that President Trump offers his full support for the Guthrie family.
And again, we're just praying for the safety of Nancy Guthrie and that she will return home soon. And the president directed me to please encourage all Americans with any information to call the FBI. And
Savannah Guthrie also sharing a new statement on Instagram this afternoon where she said she believes her mom is still alive, saying, "Bring her home now." In Tucson, Arizona, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
Donald is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later new rules could be on the way for Missouri deer hunters as the state battles chronic wasting disease.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, today turned out to be a pretty nice day, but we're going to see cooler temperatures tonight. Taking a look at our Skywatch storm tracker, there's a low pressure system behind my head up there in the Great Lakes, and you can see a cold front draped across pretty much most of the south Oklahoma counties, and we're going to see actually colder temperatures moving in from the north tonight. All right, let's take a look at that cold air right now. You can see all that cold air starting to make its way in. You can see actually the boundary of that cold front right into Arkansas. And like I said, it's going to drop temperatures down a bit for us tonight, but For today, we got up to a high of 69 degrees. The average is 49 degrees for this time of year. That means we're 20 degrees above average. Current conditions, we can see 49 degrees currently right now. It feels like 44 and winds out of the north about 14 miles an hour because of that cold front starting to make its way in. We're going to drop temperatures down to 35 degrees. Like I said, it's going to be on the colder side, and it is going to be a bit breezy. Winds out of the north could gust up to 25 miles an hour. Let me take you through the next couple of days. So tonight, there's those north winds. That's going to be cooling things down by tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the lower to mid 30s. But by the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, we're going to see mostly sunny skies. Temperatures are going to get back up to about the mid 50s, even pushing 60 down into southern counties. Getting into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we are going to have mostly cloudy skies, but you're going to see temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s for us Thursday morning. Getting into Thursday afternoon, but temperatures are going to rebound back to the upper 50s and low 60s for the region. Planning your day for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies through the day, a bit cooler than it was today. High of 57 degrees for our Wednesday. Tomorrow night, dropping down to 40 degrees, partly cloudy skies, but winds are going to be a little bit nicer out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look outside at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Cam, looking pretty good. Those temperatures, like I said, are going to slowly start cooling down as we get into the overnight. And we are in desperate need of some rain right now. We're looking at our drought tracker. Most of the area is seeing moderate to severe, even extreme drought there just south of I-44. So like I said, we are in desperate need of rain, and there's hope in sight. Taking a look at our upper level flow. This is for Thursday. We're pretty dry Thursday, but we're going to see this system out to the west make its way slowly into our region. By Friday morning, it might push enough energy and moisture into our area where maybe we can see a couple of sprinkles Friday. But we're really not going to see that system start to push in until Friday night. It's going to make its way into the area, bringing enough energy and moisture where we could definitely see a significant amount of rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms as well for Saturday. As we get into Saturday afternoon into the evening, that's going to push off and we're going to dry out by Sunday, rebounding, and those temperatures are going to be on the nicer side. Let's take a closer look. This is Thursday. Temperatures in the low 60s for us. As we get into Friday, there's those rain chances, most likely staying to the south of us, but we're going to keep temperatures in about the mid 60s for us Friday before that rain starts to make its way in by Saturday morning into the afternoon. Like I said, we could possibly see some heavier rain with that as well. Taking a look at our 7-day, 57 degrees for tomorrow, staying in the low 60s Thursday and Friday before that rain starts to push in on Saturday, cooling things down again, and then we can rebound back to the upper 60s and low 70s by next week.
All right, well, all in all, not a bad forecast. We need the rain, so it'd be nice to get some of that in there, and if it's overnight, even better, so it doesn't bother anybody.
That's right.
We'll take that.
Of course.
All right, thanks, Donald. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, the high school basketball regular season is winding down with playoffs right around the corner. Our local teams are looking to find their rhythm before the playoffs as a pair of doubleheaders highlight the slate on Tuesday. Highlights coming up in sports.
We are inching closer and closer to regional and sub-state basketball, and our local teams are looking to be playing their best ball as postseason comes around. We have a pair of Kansas doubleheaders on the slate this evening. Tipping it off at the Colgan Fieldhouse with the Panthers battling Riverton. And Jacayla Davis came out firing. Panthers already leading. And a senior crosses up her defender before draining her second three of the night. What a move by Davis, extending the lead. But the Rams are hanging around, forcing this Colgan turnover with Ellie Helms going coast to coast for the fast break layup. And she wasn't done there. A couple possessions later, it's Helms bringing it up the court for Riverton. She'll cross over, get herself open for a mid-range jumper, sinking it. She had 7 points in the opening quarter, but the first 8 minutes belonged to the reigning Class 2A Player of the Year. Final seconds, Davis shaking off a defender, cashing the fadeaway jumper before the buzzer. She had 12 of the Panthers' first 16 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Davis now being a playmaker, using the screen to attract the defense, finding her twin sister, Janessa, for three. Bang! Lead up to 15. Colgan defends home court with a 61-38 win. Colgan boys, winners of 3 in a row, and Riverton, winners in 7 of their last 8, clashing in the nightcap. First quarter, both offenses struggling to start, but Gabe Brown's offensive rebound would set himself up for an open 3 in the corner, and it's nothing from net from the sophomore. Panthers strike first. But the Rams would respond in a big way. Liam Burge finding Aiden Witherspoon wide open underneath for the easy lay-in, sparking a Riverton run. Burge now on the run in transition. He'll dish it out to Levi Mann on the wing, and the sophomore drills the triple. he was just getting started in this one too. Let's go to the couple possessions later. The duo will reconnect. Burge gives it to Mann, who drives, fights off contact for the finish, plus a foul, an 11-2 run for the Rams. Final seconds of the first. It's Brady Bedega racing up the court, weaving his way into an open look from deep. Good if it goes. Bang from Bedega at the buzzer. Colgan erases an early deficit to complete the sweep, winning 64-55. In Frontenac, the Raiders, winners of 2 in a row, hosting Galena at home, and the Raiders would strike right away in this one. Off the opening tip, it's Reese Franklin driving to the lane and finishing with the left hand to give Frontenac the early lead. Raiders looking to extend their lead a couple of possessions later. Lakin Sullivan with the driving kick to Andy Stout in the short corner, and the sophomore's jumper is nothing but net. Frontenac in control, off the inbounds play coming up. Reese Franklin with it, she'll pass down low to Marley Stout, who fights off a pair of defenders on the double team, scoring the deuce to extend the lead. And the Raiders keep on rolling. Off the Galena turnover, it's Franklin finding Sullivan in transition, and she kisses it off the glass for 2. It's all Frontenac in this one, but the Bulldogs will find a spark. It's Mackenzie Nude driving and dishing out to Riley Meyer in the corner, and the senior is going to make that every single time. But the Raiders take down Galena at home, 61-19 the final. The Raiders boys squad eyeing a third straight win, taking on the Bulldogs in the finale. Raiders working the ball around the arc in the first. 3 quick passes before finding Jake Wagner down low, who scores an easy bucket underneath. Bulldogs now on the attack. Chase Cottrell dumps it off to Isaiah Farfan, who can't finish awkwardly, but luckily for the visitors, Gannon Scarrow is right there to clean up the mess and add 2 to the scoreboard. Galena continuing to be a threat. This time it's Sway Dixon. He'll look to drive, and he will, kicking it to the corner where Scarrow will drill an open 3. The sophomore making an impact early in this one. Let's go to the other end now, where Jackson Barcelona, he'll grab the offensive board for the Raiders, rocketing a pass right to the chest of Cale Coombs, who connects on the floater for a couple more. Cottrell going the other way for Galena. He'll slow up, come back out to the wing, and he sees an open man. That's Connor Parrish beyond the arc, where he buries the triple, one of his own, as the Bulldogs take down Frontenac on the road, 49-45. Special night for Jacayla Davis, too. In between the 2 games, she set the Colgan scoring record. I believe it was January 30th, and she was honored with a banner tonight as well. So big moment for her, and it looks like she's going to close in on 2,000 points before her senior season's over.
And she's got a great team to back her up, too.
Great team.
That's awesome.
That might be one of my teams that I think in our area could definitely make a run at a state title.
It'll be fun to watch them play.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Ryan. We're back with more news after this. Missouri deer hunters could have a few new rules to follow next season. Officials hope the changes will help fight chronic wasting disease while simplifying regulations overall. KOAM's Nellie Lopez spoke with the Missouri Department of Conservation Deer Program leader about the proposal.
Thankfully, due to our surveillance efforts that have allowed us to detect the disease early where it exists, and then our management efforts has helped to keep that infection rate, or the percentage of the population that has the disease, to low levels at this point.
Most Missouri counties see less than 1% of deer infected with chronic wasting disease, also known as CWD, each year. But it does spread, which is why the Missouri Department of Conservation wants to make some changes.
Almost 500,000 deer hunters in the state of Missouri. And so we certainly recognize the importance of that tradition, and are trying to do everything we can to work with hunters and landowners to ensure that we maintain a healthy deer population that is sustainable and that our folks can enjoy for years to come.
Part of that effort is to ensure regulations are effective in chronic wasting disease areas. One proposal is removing an extra 5 days of CWD firearms deer season at the end of November. They didn't see an increase in harvest during that portion, but they did get negative feedback.
That recommendation was a direct result of the feedback that we received from hunters in terms of the complexity of the season structure. So by eliminating the CWD portion of deer season, it really won't affect harvest that much, but it will simplify the structure of deer season.
Another change is requiring landowners to have at least 20 acres, not just 5, in a CWD core area before they can get management permits.
A lot of permits were issued for those properties, and we weren't seeing a great return in terms of the number of deer harvested. So there's one. The second advantage is just simplicity. Again, going back to the fact that to qualify for no-cost deer and turkey hunting permits, a landowner would have to have 20 acres.
A few changes to help maintain a healthy herd of deer. In Southwest Missouri, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
The Missouri Department of Conservation invites the public to comment on these proposed regulation changes. The deadline to respond is February 14th. If the proposal passes, the new rules go into effect July 1st. Up next, Zendaya's wedding plans go wrong in the new trailer for The Drama. We have a preview in Hollywood Nation. A country superstar plans a summer road trip, and 2 award-winning actors will take center stage for a special musical moment. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest in today's Hollywood Nation.
You're saying Charlie is your first love? Yeah.
Zendaya faces engagement woes, Platt and Zegler celebrate, and McGraw plans a summer trip in the Hollywood Nation. Tim McGraw is heading back on the road. The country superstar announced his 2026 Pawn Shop Guitar Tour, a 33-date North American summer run, kicking off July 9th in Bethel, New York. He'll make 3 stadium stops, including Boston's Fenway Park and Target Field in Minneapolis.
Stars align.
Ben Platt and Rachel Zegler are bringing The Last 5 Years stateside. After a limited London run this March, the duo will celebrate the musical's 25th anniversary with performances at the Hollywood Bowl April 3rd and New York's Radio City Music Hall April 6th and 7th.
It's just you and me, buddy.
Searchlight Pictures released the trailer for the sci-fi drama In the Blink of an Eye. The film connects 3 stories across thousands of years, exploring survival, human connection, and the circle of life. It stars Rashida Jones, Kate McKinnon, and Daveed Diggs, and premieres on Hulu February 27th.
Am I sensing some nerves?
Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's plans to tie the knot start to unravel in the trailer for The Drama. They play an engaged couple whose relationship is tested when an unexpected turn throws their wedding celebration off course. The film arrives in theaters April 3rd.
That's some drama.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of some animals at the Bright Zoo enjoying the snow in Jonesboro, Tennessee. There's the zebras. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.